right now. I think the goal, get my footing here and maybe take off to Cali, take off to Nash, maybe. Who knows? We're chilling right now.
Hello, everyone. Today we have a very special guest with us. We have Brennan, and thanks for coming on, man. How's everything going for you?
Of course. It's been going great, dude. Having a blast at getting into all like the more music side of things. Really been locking in the past year, and I'm excited to podcast, dude. Let's do it.
We're excited. We're excited to learn a lot about you. So like I said, we found you through a comment that you left on our stuff, actually. So
Z Smith, right?
Yeah.
Dude.
That was actually going to be my first question. What were you looking up to find us?
I honestly, no, I'm being full transparent. Homepage, just right there. Like, I was just like, I know, good for you guys, right? I honestly don't know because I don't listen to a lot of Z Smith. We DM'd like a while ago, like maybe a year ago, and I was like asking about his music videographer or something, just as simple like that. I do listen to maybe a few songs, but I guess, I mean, it got recommended, pushed to me, so good on you guys, you know?
Right.
We're going good from there. No, yeah, just homepage, and I was like, wait a minute, I know Z Smith.
He's one of my favorites. He was one of our first projects too.
Really?
He's a really cool guy, yeah. I love his stuff a lot.
Yeah, his writing, dude, is incredible, bro. Mm-hmm. He just wrote this song for this artist. His name is Alex from Nashville. Oh my gosh. I think that song actually dropped today. Now I need to write that down on my own end because I really did want to listen to that song. I'll put him on for you guys after this once I remember his name, but oh my gosh, he's got it going.
A lot of those Nashville guys we've been trying to contact too, like Knox. I know.
Oh yeah,
Z Smith does a lot with Knox.
Yeah. John Harvey, he's a great one to lock in. Mutuals with Harvey right now. I got a connection in between the band House Parties. They're from Dallas. They do a lot of writing sessions with John Harvey. Oh my gosh, so many. Caroline Romano. My mixing engineer is Josh Bonanno. He does the mixing for John as well. All of them in Nashville. I wish I was like born and raised in Nashville, honestly. Like I'm up here in Michigan making Nashville bops while everyone up here is listening to the Midwest emo. Don't get me wrong, Midwest emo's fire.
Right.
But like nobody's dialed into the Nashville stuff I'm making over here.
We like all those guys. Getting into the questions. Tell us about yourself, like how old are you? Where are you from? In school? What do you got going on?
I'm 20 years old, about to turn 21 in July. Free fire. Born in Michigan, raised in Virginia for like a couple years, moved back up to Michigan. I grew up in a very, very, very small town called Buchanan, and it was a very traditional kind of like nothing really crazy going on there, but like it was a very tiny community. You know your neighbor, you know everybody in school type of vibe. But from there, I wanted to study entrepreneurship, so I moved up to Kalamazoo, started studying at Western, decided you don't really need to study entrepreneurship and blow the money on an entrepreneurship degree when they'll show you Google slideshows from like 2009 and you realize that's not going anywhere. So became a dropout, but I decided I still wanted to like be up in Kalamazoo because I just had a lot more connections. I had a lot more friends up here. It was giving me a lot more opportunities being up here than being back in a small town. So I've kind of just been chilling up here, grinding it out ever since. Right now, I think the goal, get my footing here and maybe take off to Cali, take off to Nash, maybe. Who knows? We're chilling right now.
No, that's cool. I came across some of your stuff that you posted on YouTube. It sounds like you're working a lot of jobs. You got a lot of projects going on.
Oh, dude, I have way too much going on, honestly. I'm just a very busy individual. I mean, I wake up at 5 a.m. every single day, go to my full-time job of inside sales because, you need money and stuff. I do that for 10 hours, go to the gym, and then I come home and my 6 o'clock to my 12 o'clock is basically all of this, all of the business ventures I'm doing. I got photography, videography, graphic design. I'm helping out other artists too on my own end. My Save the Underground project, the music stuff, which is taking up 90% of it right now.
So you're doing most of your music stuff all on your own, right?
Yeah. So I got a producer. I have a few producers that I kind of dial in with. We have some sessions. For the most part, when it comes to like the writing, how I'm going to make a song, what song I want to make, I'm usually just kind of sitting in my room by myself and figuring it out as I go. I have a lot of people that I've grown connections with over time that help me with the production side of things, especially, and the mixing and mastering. I kind of have like basic footing in all of it, especially if you want to like start soaring into this kind of genre, you gotta be open arms into whoever's willing to help you out. So
right, for sure.
That's been a big thing I had to learn recently over the past few years.
There seems to be a push for independent like artists trying to make their push away labels. Where do you kind of see your route moving in the next so often? Would you want to be an independent artist, or do you think you're going to sign like with a label in the future, or is it kind of just hard to say at this point?
It's really hard to say. Right now, I hate labels. I don't hear anything good from them. I don't hear the positive things overcoming those negative things, where I see a viral YouTube video of some artist who has 300,000 monthly complaining about, do not sign to a label. They ruined my life. I literally can't afford to pay rent this month. Right. Like crazy stuff like that. And like, if you have 300,000 monthly, you should be fine. Right. Like, I mean, that's what's making sense in my head. I do want to sign to someone who I can definitely have a fair deal with. That's like not kind of overshadowing the brand that I want to build for myself. I have a few friends who are signed to independent deals where they kind of just handle distribution and getting your name out there, and they'll take their cuts and do all that. That's kind of more what I'm looking into right now. I'm eyeing in conversation with version 3. They just did that song, that Austin song that's blown up on TikTok, the When the Boost, da, da, da.
Oh yeah.
I got a friend who's signed to that label, and there's some talking going on, but you know, we'll see where it goes. I like to be slow and steady and make sure it's the right decision before I just jump into something crazy, you know?
Makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're not doing all this work, working on music, what are you doing in your free time?
My free time is basically going into, it's either this, right? I guess for the past 2-3 months right now, it's been either music or it's been the Save the Underground project I've been working on. That's basically like this little community I've been trying to build around smaller artists, punk, rock, alternative, I would say, who really aren't getting their shine of light. It's been a slow project. I'm still on my end trying to figure out like exactly what path I want to go into. Mainly right now, what's been working for me, putting all these artists in a group chat daily. We are talking about things like algorithms. We were talking about things, what's trending right now, what campaigns should we be thinking about, what demographics we're finding best, just like all the inside stuff that like you're gonna hear from a label or hear from a bigger corporation, except that we don't need it. That's kind of the biggest thing, is that a lot of these artists have the talent and have the shine. They just need the light and guidance to get to that point. And that's kind of what the whole business has been for me personally, because I remember being in that spot where you're sitting, putting out your song, and you're like, why am I not viral yet? Like, why am I not like Drake yet? You have to learn that like it's so much more than that. And there's so much more into community building and finding out how to cater to your audience. It's a big thing to like realize when you're not being pushed by a big label. So you can't be the artist that's going to be too cool to go out of your way to do the distribution, to go out of your way to do the pitching to your friends and putting up flyers and all of the nonsense that comes with it, you know?
Right. Even in this project we're working on, we're finding that out. The algorithm can be nasty sometimes.
Absolutely. But like the fact that you guys are going out of your way to reply to your comments, like the comments, DM people, and I'm sure you guys are DMing so many people every day, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
yeah,
absolutely.
But like it was the things like that. That's definitely the hardest part. And once you get past that first branch of just like, get me 100 people subscribe to this channel, dude, like it's just going to be more and more. It's not going to be a growth of like, we're just getting 2 followers a day. Like once you're at 100, dude, like you're growing up a little more. Once you get to 1,000, you're getting 20 a day. That's the biggest thing, is just like getting past that first branch of putting in the work in the beginning so that it pays off.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
It's really exciting to see that community being built, like with group chat that you're in with other musicians, and stepping away from these bigger corporations that are putting like a chokehold and like suppressing artists and smaller artists. Just like by doing this, like me and Logan interacting with you and other like small artists, we want to make a community where we can all talk to each other and like build together. And we're finding that this works. Let's
absolutely
passing information back and forth. And it's really amazing to see that there's also that community building.
The audience is there, dude. Like it's ironic because the audience for the underground and the naysayers, I guess I don't want to say rebels, but like the guys who are actively looking for those people who are not being seen, the audience is there for that. It's just the fact that you are underground is the reason they're not finding it. Like the amount of people that have sent me these separate DMs of being like, all of these artists are hits. Like all these artists have these banger songs on this playlist, on this whatever. I just didn't know they existed. It's as simple as that. That's all you have to do, is just like find your way to get the shine without being crushed by a corporation or label.
You mentioned playlists and things like that. What do you have on your playlist right now? What have you been listening to?
Oh gosh, hold on a second here. Are we talking underground? Or are we talking like my guilty pleasures that I got on loop right now?
Let's do both.
Yeah, whatever you're willing to share.
Guilty pleasures that I got on loop right now. Lizzie McAlpine just dropped an album that I've been looping nonstop. Low key, I gotta stop though because it's getting me in my feels right now. I gotta stop. And Lizzie, you've done some damage with that entire album. Future and Metro just dropped a banger. Dude, I'm too invested into the rap beef right now. I also gotta take a step back because I'm getting angry at some people. Concrete Boys, they are definitely the new wave. Let me get some punk in here so I can stay on genre. Braden Bales dropped a single. I've been looping nonstop. Ashed Us Out. Post-punk, dude. Oh my gosh, there are so many post-punk artists that are just not tapped in yet. That's definitely the next genre, the next wave. And then my friend Eli Wilson, who I've been streaming his sad music again.
Do you get to listen to a lot of music yourself, or?
Working in inside sales, all I can do is just listen to music while I'm not taking my phone calls and working on stuff like that. I got like maybe 9 hours a day of just looping the same songs.
Damn, yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, for sure.
Getting into your early years, when did you first find an interest in music?
I knew I always wanted to do like the arts for sure. I was really dialed into videography. I was trying to be the next Cole Bennett, low key. I worked so hard on music videos and like I was going to get my film degree. I was going to go to Florida and get this crazy film degree, do all this. I wanted the entrepreneurship degree first so I could know how to run my own videography business and do all that. I slowly was taking a turn for the music side of things just because I felt more of myself when I was doing that kind of stuff. I had more ears in my corner being like, you need to do music, you need to pivot to this end versus pivoting to the videographer end. I still do it both. It definitely helps with the content side of things too, like post like a TikTok. I got my verifications in Premiere and Adobe and all that stuff. So like it helps me out there. My real first interest was probably in quarantine. All my friends would be on a Discord call and we'd kind of just be bored because like you're in quarantine and COVID and doing all that. And we would, hopefully no one does a deep dive on this. We would be like comedic satire rappers, I would say. I'm not gonna lie, we were hot, dude. It was a really, really fun time, and we would just rap about, I was gonna say bullshit. I don't know if I can swear or not, but we can rap about literally anything. Like we had a rap song about water bottles to Santa sleeping with your mom kind of stuff.
Right.
Like it was the most ridiculous, but fun thing ever. And as a joke, we went to a mutual's house who this guy was signed to a label. He was signed and he's this professional engineer, but he's like a friend of ours. And so this is our first time meeting him. We got dialed into all that stuff. Like, he was like an actual serious artist who's doing this. His name's Don't Envy. I'm gonna be big shout outs because he's kind of the whole reason that I'm even here right now. We were doing a singy song. He's like, dude, you can sing, just do actual music. And so a few years down the line, I kept contemplating that in my head. I dropped my first song. It was so terrible. I had the entire school definitely dogging on me. I still don't hear the end of it to this day. Like, it's so bad. But it definitely got my foot in the door and I just kept going and here we are. That's kind of the story. It's not your typical, I just found myself and I just wanted to be music. Like, it was kind of some bullshit that led into like, now I'm doing this, you know?
That reminds me of like the first couple of YouTube videos that I released and like everyone, all my friends started memeing on me and everything.
You gotta have the memers. You gotta have the memers at first. And then once you get past that, dude, who's the one laughing now? Once you get to that point.
Exactly. You mentioned it a little bit, but what was your reaction when you found out that you could sing for the first time?
At first, I don't even think I could sing, really. Even still, like, I need a vocal coach, I would say. I wouldn't say I'm perfect. However, I'm really good at technique, and that's because I was a theater kid for 2 years. All of that is learning how to warm up your voice and learning how to do these vocal techniques and do all this. And I would start doing things like put a little girt on my voice and doing that, and then they'd be like, don't do that, you're gonna hurt your voice. If they definitely listen to anything I have now, they're gonna be like, you're gonna kill your voice. But it sounds great right now. So it was kind of like a progression of time before I got to that point where I was like, okay, maybe I can do a little singing.
How about any instruments? Can you play any instruments?
Yeah, I can play piano. I can play alto, tenor, baritone, saxophone. I can play a little clarinet. I'm learning guitar. I'm not great. My girlfriend's attempting to teach me, but it's a progress right now. What else? I can play drums. I think that's it. I was a band kid and I was a drum major, so I had to like learn all the intricacies of like little things. I know a little bit of a lot of.
Which is your favorite to play?
I gotta go tenor sax.
Okay.
All day. Every day. I don't even have it in my house anymore, but it's at my mom's house, and I will get back to it at some point.
With all of the instrumentals in your songs, you doing all that through the computer? Do you have people that play it for you? How does that work?
We do a little bit of sampling. Depends, really. For some sessions, I'll have my people who are good at guitars do the guitar. I'll basically be like, do this, and then they'll do the thing. We'll go from there. Sometimes we'll find one loop or one sample. It's like, wait, we can kind of build off of this, and we'll go from there. If it's like a little more synthy, then we'll probably do some MIDI. For drums, we're doing a little digital right now. I do want to at some point start moving into some real girthy, just like, let's go full out on drums. Let's get a drum kit, do all that. A lot of it is computer. A lot of it is me getting that help, but like pointing the direction of where I'm trying to go.
Right.
What are some of your music influences under mentors?
Oh, there's so many. I gotta go beauty school dropout for this current wave that I'm kind of pushing. Represent. They've definitely put me in a more alternative. I'm trying to push myself in right now. For the punkier side of things, I could go MCR. I could go a little Blink. I wasn't huge Blink, but like MCR and All in Fun. Or sorry, All Time Low. Mostly in the newer wave side of things. I mean, I'm going Pop Tropica Sluts. I'm going Beauty School Dropout. I'm going, Glaive, big one actually.
Do you like Jaden at all?
Yeah, I have to admit, he's definitely a big part of it. His sound in general is just like, I'm addicted to his vocals, bro. I'm addicted to the way he's able to get that catchy ear melody in your head every single time. Definitely a big Jaden guy for sure too.
When you said Beauty School Dropouts, I know they toured together, right?
I went to that tour for sure. I was going for Jaden. I knew of Beauty School Dropout at the time. I was like a little bit of a fan, but seeing them live, I was like instantly like, I'm all the way. Let's go. Honestly, I've slowly converted over to Beauty School Dropout more than Jaden nowadays, but I still love them all. And I'll probably be at every single tour that they have in the Midwest. So
before we got on this call, I thought I figured out that you were pretty young. I mean, we're both 23, so you're not much younger than us, but I was thinking, like, I wonder, his influences are probably a lot different than what other people are going to say, just because you're so much younger.
Especially in this newer wave age. Like, I got that MCR still. I got the Iconics, where if you don't say that, the Facebook heads are going to get mad at you on rock group chats and be like, you're not a true punker, or you're not a true punk rock artist. And the new wave, dude, kind of my home right now. It's just like, I love the new sound and the way this scene is honestly being pushed by all the naysayers on the scene is like, it's gone, it's dead, it's all this. I love that we get the opportunity to be underground again, honestly, because it gives artists like me and artists like BSD that time to like hone in on our audience that actually cares, you know? Like, we don't need the outside or any of that being like rooting for us, because we got our own, and that's all we need.
Most definitely. By any chance, I'm gonna butcher how you say this name, but a couple of his songs just went viral on TikTok. His name is Artemis? Yeah, Artemis.
Maybe. Yep. I love the way you kiss me. Yeah.
Is he a part of that new wave of music? What do you think of his kind of style of music?
I love it, dude. I honestly am so addicted to this, like, so weird in this alternative post-punky kind of like digital sound. I'm definitely addicted to it for sure. I have like my song Pretty Little Liar. That is kind of like the biggest influence into like this post-punk world that I'm going to dive into next year. I'm going to drop something special for everybody. I got a plan. Just wait, you know? I'm so addicted to like the sound of how it's not the same every single time that you're listening to it. It's something different, but it all correlates. It's like its own little like tiny genre that's like so slept on right now. I'm so dialed into it. Because
I was listening to your music. It definitely reminded me of that kind of genre, like in that step. And I'm like, I'm in love.
I'm glad, because that's kind of where I'm trying to push my sound right now. It's a mix of a lot of different sounds that I'm going for, because I'm still kind of new to it. Even when I had that big moment where that one song hits, and like, I guess Take Me Out, for example, very punk rocky, very Blink 182 Jaden vibes. And then I have other songs like Welcome to the Scene and Pretty Little Liar. They're a little more new wavy kind of stuff. I kind of really just like making what's the ear candy in my head, and wherever I want to go, I'm just going to go, dude. Like, it's super exciting in this independent arc. You don't need to be in one specific area or anything. So definitely trying out so many new sounds, and I'm so excited to show everybody what we got coming for sure.
We're looking forward to it. Are there any other themes within your early music that's kind of consistent throughout?
I think just overall punk. Like that's kind of like the core of everything right now, is having this gritty, emotional kind of let's be real. You know, that's kind of how I want all the music in my lane to sound. You can have your commercial bop, you can have your happy time, let's just write a song about a girl song and all that. In the deep down to it, I want to get in that emotional state. I want to be able to be vulnerable around the entire song and just get in that punky, rebellious kind of stuff. I'd say it's hard to pick one side, one like little lane, but if I were to like a core around everything, it would definitely just be
Awesome. What does your songwriting process look like?
My producer's going to be so mad at me for this. I will sit here. I will listen to the beat that is crafted over time. I like to have the beat ready to go first before I do anything, because it helps me correlate where I want to put certain melodies, where I want to go high, where I want to go low, do all that. But I will sit there for 20 to 30 minutes and just hum. I will just hum melodies, and you know when you get that ear candy feel, I will sit there and I'm like such a statistic, like this note needs to be high and this note needs to be in a unresolution mysterious way and stuff like that. But I will sit there and hum for take until I just have a whole entire song that sounds like a banger if you didn't speak English. But once I put the words over it, and that's not this, my producer hates me for this because I don't dial into the writing, but he wants me to write a correlated story, but I do that after I have the hummy notes, you know? And so it's this whole thing. Like we'll have arguments where it's like, okay, let's get some writing in. I'm like, I don't have the melody. I'm not writing anything without a melody. So this whole thing. I go for the let's make this song good, and then I go, what am I feeling right now? What do I want the song to be about? How am I going to structure it? I just go from there, really. It's a slow process too, for sure. Especially doing it all by myself. I'm just sitting in my room, sometimes 5-6 hours, finding one line or one verse to get going. I like that I write slow because it allows me to know that I'm doing it on my own, and the slower process feels a lot more sincere. Whereas, you know, you have a lot of artists that are getting like these outside writers or having whole demos given to them just like that. And I do want to stay true to writing everything by myself as much as I can. Hopefully, I mean, who knows where you get major, and I know you have writers in the room, you have writing sessions, and you have all this. I might try it, but like right now, I just know I just love sitting in my room and just like writing exactly what I'm feeling right now and not having to like explain it, you know?
Right. It allows you to be creative with your emotions, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, I really like that process because I feel like I can relate to that, because when I'm editing and everything, I nitpick my work and I'm such a perfectionist about it. There's moments where I'm like spending 5, 6, 7 hours on like a 10-second clip that I'm like, I need to get everything perfect and in line and the effects and everything.
I feel it, dude. Yeah, absolutely. Even if I have a vocal take that's like not at the perfect texture of grit over vibrato, over cleanliness that I want, the writers in the room are going to be like, dude, you got it. You're fine. Move on. Let's go. And I'm like, wait, give me a second. So I definitely love the aspect of I made this, you know?
Most definitely. What did a song release look like when you started with recording, like studio-wise, collaborations? What's start to finish? Because you touched on it here and there.
If we're going to speed run it, it's going to be me and producer. We structure a beat. We structure a song that's going to be a hit and it's going to fuck, and we got it. Once I go there, I'll dial into my room. I'll dial into the space. I'll do the melodies. I'll do the humming. I'll get everything. And I will even mix it as good as I can on my own end, so that once I send that over to mixing, either Will Carlson, Josh Bonanno, shout outs to them, incredible mixing engineers, I'll sit with them and I'll send them countless emails of little things to tweak. And then they'll probably not want to talk to me after that because I give them so many goddamn tweaks. And then I make it as perfect in my head as I can make it before I have to sit there and be like, okay, just accept that it's fine. And that's the thing I still need to work on to this day. I got that perfectionist attitude, Caleb. I feel you so hard on it, especially bringing in these other people. I know I need them, and I know they're better than me. I got to let more trust out, and I'm still working on that for sure. I get that mixing. And then we send it over to Sam Moses, shout outs, and he does all the mastering and all that. And then I go for distribution. That is a whole nother ballpark in itself. You know, I'm planning content strategies. I'm planning press releases. I'm planning what days I'm going to be posting on what platforms, and lyric pages and Wikipedia pages. It's all the bullshit after that.
We get that second part, the planning, posting, and all that different stuff. Me and Caleb sit on the phone for hours, rubbing our like few brain cells together, trying to come up with the best ideas, what we can do to pop off, right, to blow up. So
I see you guys posting YouTube shorts. That's definitely the lane to be in right now. And maybe after this, I can give you little secrets that I've kind of picked up on that. Yeah, YouTube shorts is definitely like such a slept on thing right now. Nobody's using it right now. Wants you to be using shorts so bad right now. It's ridiculous. If you dial in a little bit to the algorithm, you just like, hey, I want to be shown. They'll be like, oh, please take it, you know?
Right.
I definitely noticed that. I was listening to like a Graham Stephan or the Iced Coffee Hour podcast like a couple days ago, and they were talking about how it was the owner of like the TikTok house, the Hype House, a little while ago, and he was a guest on the podcast, and he was just saying how there's like a switch kind of happening, that people are kind of hopping off of TikTok, slowly navigating or seeing this like push towards YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels a little bit, and kind of pushing away from TikTok, which is kind of interesting to see in real time, kind of like that transition of social media apps, of what pops off and what the different trends.
Especially since TikTok is their thing was short form content. It was the big thing. And now you kind of see them starting to like lean into like, we want longer videos now. We want you to be using our live stream programs. It's like, these are the things that YouTube has. These are the things that Instagram has already. And because now everybody is just kind of stealing from each other. And if you go to Instagram, you go to TikTok, it's damn near the same app if you just sit there and think about it. Like now we're in like a position where it's, do I want to keep getting my 200 view jail in TikTok, or do I want to go to Instagram Reels where I actually have a better chance of being pushed and I have my actual audience here and I have more engagement and easier ways to communicate with artists? Or I can go to YouTube, or I can actually put this long form content that's actually going to get pushed to people that I can actually sit here and promote, and I can like monetize way better. You're starting to see that pivot into like, okay, who has the best stuff of everything?
It's complicated and it's a science for sure to understand.
Too hard of a science, dude. Oh my gosh.
We're kind of getting into everything. We have Instagram, TikTok. We're posting on all that different stuff, just trying to kind of find what sticks. And we haven't been doing it for too long, but
you guys are definitely on the right path, dude. I'm seeing it. The YouTube Shorts getting pushed on my page. I'm getting notifications. Didn't even push the bell button. So you guys are killing it. I'll push the bell button now that I said that.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Now kind of looking at your more recent music, at least based off of what Spotify would say, would it be fair to say that Take Me Out This Place is probably your hit so far?
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. That song went way crazier than I had expected it to. I'm thankful for Spotify, I think. I don't even know how we really got the traction that it did. I just kept pushing it. I kept doing my step process of how I do my promotions and do all that. Discover page liked it, took it off from there, and it's been definitely a joyride ever since. I think we just hit 40K, which is crazy. I wouldn't even imagine hitting a song to 40K this year. I was planning on that like maybe 3 years down the line. So I'm so fucking grateful. Absolutely. And I guess it just works, you know, whatever's in that song.
The song is so good. Of course, when I looked you up, that was the first song that came up.
Yeah,
it's really, really good. What kind of themes, like you say you write about kind of what you're feeling at the time? You just go through something?
Yeah. Well, I guess when I was writing Take Me Out This Place, I was kind of just angry at as I said, my hometown, where it's just like that very tiny, traditional, small space. And while it is a small space, it's a well-bonded community. You also have those traditional aspects to it where it's like, doing something out of the ordinary is kind of crazy. You know, you're doing music and you're going to get made fun of. It's going to be like you are wearing like a colorful sweatshirt, dude. Like it was ridiculous to a point where it's putting yourself outside of this shell of being yourself was so humiliating and exhausting in that area. It's not their fault. I mean, this is where they grew up. This is where they were born and raised. This is how they just know things. The idea of just like fit into the gray bubble was so addicting, I guess, to everybody. And like, stepping outside of that comes with a lot of repercussions and mental challenges, I guess. Yeah, I was just angry about that. And I'm like, I think just more people need to be themselves. I had some people back home was like, did you just write about our town? I was like, maybe a little bit. A little bit of aggression into that.
That makes sense. I wasn't sure at first. I was like, is this about a breakup like most music's about? Or
it's a breakup in the sense of I was breaking up with the bad trauma that I had with that city, you know?
Right.
Connections that hurt me there, the connections that I didn't need to sit there and I didn't need them to just be in my mind looping because of like, look at this guy doing something different, or stepping out of the bubble here. It's a hot diss track, you know?
Right. At least in my opinion, knowing the lyrics and understanding like the story behind a song just makes it so much better when you go back and listen to it.
Absolutely, yeah. I write a little complicated sometimes. I get a little emotional. Sorry about that.
Looking at your newest release, Welcome to the Scene, how has that been received so far?
It's been great, dude. Out of everything I've dropped, I'm going to say this every time I release a single, but like the best work I've ever put out, absolutely. I spent way too long on it. I'm not upgrading myself in a song. I'm not putting it out right now, especially like when you're on this up climb of in that underground, like something needs to be different, something needs to be better, and we're just scaling up more and more. I definitely think we achieved that with this song. A lot of my audience was like, yeah, dude, I've had this one on loop more than any of them. The one where it's like, okay, we're actually sounding the way we want to sound. We're actually getting to the places like we're going to play. Probably listen to this song forever just because I love it so much. And I really think this is like the biggest step I've taken into upgrading the sound.
That was just recently, right? That you released that, like within the last month?
I released it March 29th. Yeah, it's been out for 2-3 weeks now.
Gotcha.
It's gotten the fastest traction of a song I've ever had. So it's definitely good to know that we're not one-hit wonders yet,
Right. The algorithm's picking up the heat you're putting down.
I'm thankful for it every single day. Jeez, please don't forget about me.
You said that this has kind of been the fastest song that's picked up for you. It's sounding like what you kind of want it to. You would say you're probably on your way to that new sound direction that you were talking about earlier.
Right now, I think I've reached the point where I want to be at in terms of I know exactly how I want my stuff to sound, especially coming into that debut project that I'm going to be putting out, planning to get that out in June. We're on the Waterfall release stuff right now. Like we're getting a single out every 6 weeks, bonus single in between there with a feature I got with Dimitri Miller. I think I'm at that point where I have a good sound to where I can work with this sound that I've got. And I'm going to give a project to the world. That's going to be like my pitch to like, are we going to do this or, what's going on?
Alluding to that project, what does the future look like for you? Like what's the song release schedule, album/EP?
Right now I've got a EP called Dying Trying. That is my goal right now. Is I've got some of the songs, a good amount of the songs ready. I'm a slow worker, as I said. So like, I'm probably going to be like, actually, I want to change that one thing. I've got all the songs concepted and ready to go. Demos are good to go. I'm like so excited for this project in particular because it's going to be different in a sense of like, you're going to hear a lot of different sounds. You're going to hear a lot of different, I guess, themes. I wanted to tell a story of the process of starting from this point where you're kind of nothing in the industry and struggles that comes with like getting to that point. Backing behind Dying Trying is everything that comes with getting to a point of success. There's a lot of internal struggles with that. There's a lot of connection struggles you have getting to that point. Wrote my heart out with this one and we're trying out so many different sounds. Not a single song sounds like the one you heard from before. And that's why I love it so much.
Right.
And that's why I'm a little nervous about the algorithm. Kind of be like, what is this actually? No matter what the algorithm is going to think, I'm going to be happy that it's out. I'm going to be happy having even one person sit there and be like, yeah, dude, this is it. No, this is definitely going to be like everything I got. And this is going to be like my hello into this world. So
no, that's exciting. Yeah, it sounds like having everything planned out through June, July.
I'm way too organized.
Right. That's good. You're doing most of that, pretty much all that yourself then, right?
Yeah. And that's where like a lot of this, like I need a manager. Jesus, like I need a personal assistant because I know the stuff I have to do. I know the paths we're going. I have every single day planned out of something that needs to be worked on until June. I mean, I'm still working on July because like I got to make sure that, April works and March and May works and all that. I have everything planned out and ready to go. It's just a little bit of something every day right now, but it is a lot of work doing it by myself, unfortunately. At the same time, like you got to take that sit down and that push on your own end to prove to yourself and to everybody that you've got the abilities that it takes to get there. I'm not going to stop. So I'm excited for sure. I'm excited and tired.
Right. We're excited to hear it too. When it's all said and done, I mean, you can say it was all yours. Like you did all of it. So
absolutely. Yeah. And then hopefully a label is like, wait, let's actually sign this guy, but not actually.
Music releases we're excited for. Do you have any like live performances? Is that something that you do? Do you play shows?
First performance is going to be on June 29th. That is My friend Alice and I, she's somebody who's kind of helped me get some connections into the industry. Yeah, I was talking about how I want to put on a show for my EP release. Like I want to just have like a party, but like I've never performed my music before. I've done Broadway, or not Broadway, like theater. Sorry. I'd never sat there and thought about performing my music until I think last year. I'm like, I want to do it. Fully dived in, I think January, I knew I wanted to get my foot into that world. I was talking about how I want to put on my own show, but I wanted like a practice run or something, you know? And that ended up turning into my friend Alice putting me in a festival with David Michael Frank headlining it. It's called the Lost Boys Fest. You guys are in Ohio, right?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. Yep.
It's in Columbus. So whoever's in the area, I mean, there's a lot of crazy artists that are going to be performing there. And it's so excited. I love the roster so much because everybody's kind of like young dudes just about to put on some fire show. It's super exciting because I already know I'm going to be friends with everybody there the first day I walk in. That's my first performance.
Awesome. We're definitely going to check it out because Logan, he's just about to graduate, but he's going to school at RMU in Pittsburgh. I'm staying in Philadelphia, actually. So I make like a road trip across PA to Pittsburgh and crash at his place for a couple of days. But we make like trips up and back from like Cleveland, Ohio, and like we want to make trips to Columbus and everything. So yeah, we'll definitely come and support.
Yeah, dude. I'll send you guys the ticket link, bro. I actually think you guys can get a lot of connections there. I'll get you connected with Alice, and I definitely think you guys can put your name in some things or whatever's going on there. I'll be sure you guys get something in there. But it's definitely gonna be a crazy festival, dude. I think we're expecting like 300 head count. It's cool. It's cool. This is my first performance,
Right.
So it's a little you know, I'll try not to swallow that until we hit June, and I'll be like, wait, hold on a second. But right now I'm excited, you know?
Yeah, of course you're probably going to have some nerves about performing. Are you planning on having like a band behind you?
Yeah. Shout outs to Andrew, shout outs to Colby, shout outs to Cole. And we've been locked in for, I think around a year. The first time I tried to get into performing, and I realized that like performing takes a lot more work than just sitting there having a band and being like, we're going to perform. That's my band right now. We've been slowly getting rehearsals in. We're getting the equipment in. We're getting everything that comes behind it. I'm super excited. Yeah, full band. We're going all out. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, you know?
Right. Well, that's awesome. We just recently, you know, we haven't been doing this project for too long, but even the people we've met already, I don't know if you know the band Dead Bundy by chance. They're a punk rock band out of Cleveland. We went to their show a couple weeks ago. We got like backstage. We were doing some work with them, took some videos,
nice
photos. A couple Cleveland bands we've been doing that with, which has been really cool.
That's fire, guys.
Yeah. So,
get backstage. Ooh. Yeah. Getting up there.
We're geeking.
Yeah. You guys posted some shorts about that, right? Like some behind the scenes footage.
Yeah.
I love that little like documentary kind of style that you guys are putting it in. You guys should definitely just keep with that storyline basis kind of stuff you're going for sure. If you guys definitely got to keep doing more of like this is your show, but we're going to this show, you know? That's what I love. That's what I love what you guys got going on. Keep pushing that.
Yeah, that's kind of what the vibe that we want to like kind of capture is, even though we're like interviewing these other artists and getting to collab with these cool people, we still want to show that behind the scenes, kind of like the goofiness we kind of bring. All right, this is like the backstage, and kind of like show the ins and outs of how we got backstage, show like more of like the behind the scenes process of, I don't know, like the startup and documenting and everything.
I love to see it, especially at a startup phase. I'm glad I'm able to be here so early, because I love to say like when you guys keep growing and growing and growing that I was there. So
we're hoping to say the same thing about people like you that we've been working with.
Oh yeah.
When you blow up, we'll say, oh, we were his first podcast.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's gonna be a big thing when we start dialing in. Both of us, dude. It's gonna be crazy.
Yes, sir.
And then to kind of wrap this up, what social media plugs do you have for us? Where can we find you at?
I'm on Spotify. Okay, let's specify this. Lowercase BREN period. Do not click BRENN ! Do not click him. We don't like him at all. We like BREN period. Instagram, I'm bren._music. YouTube, just look up Bren and look up a song. I'm sure you'll find me. Tap into Save the Underground. That's, if I'm going to push anything today, that's what I'm going to push right now. Support your local artists, support your underground artists, support anybody you see out there trying to push out something that they feel passionate about,
Mm-hmm.
We love art.
Yes, absolutely. Creating content.
No, yeah. Absolutely. I appreciate you guys having me though, for sure. I'm excited. This is my first podcast as we went. So we'll see how this goes. I'll be sure to clip farm everything I can from this. So
yeah, thank you so much for coming on, and we can link up afterwards and stuff, and just keep in content or
no, for sure.
Contact and stuff. I love this podcast.
I'm gonna get you guys in this underground, Save the Underground group chat. Hit up every one of those artists. I guarantee you, I'm gonna give you guys some connections and some artists to definitely be checking out for sure.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
So we'll call that a wrap.